All right, so we're going to dive into something pretty fascinating today. We've all seen this just explosion of AI, especially with things like ChatGPT. But
Yeah.
now it's not just about chat anymore. It's about action.
Yeah, it really is a huge leap forward. We're moving from AI that just responds to our questions like in real time
Hmm.
to AI that can actually like manage tasks and plan for the future.
It's true. ChatGPT is rolling out this new tasks feature. It basically turns it into a way more advanced version of those digital assistants we're already used to, like think Siri or Google Assistant.
Mm.
But with ChatGPT's ability to understand and generate like human-like text.
Yeah, this shift towards what's being called agentic AI, that's a game changer. It's essentially giving AI more control and agency in how it operates, going beyond just reacting to our immediate commands.
So how does this tasks thing actually work? Like, what can it do?
Well, for now, it's limited to Plus, Team, and Pro subscribers. But the idea is you can tell ChatGPT what you need to do and when. Like, need a daily weather report. Want a reminder about your passport expiring. ChatGPT can schedule those for you. It can even handle, like, recurring tasks or even suggest tasks based on your conversations.
So it's not just setting simple alarms, it's understanding the context of what you need and when.
Exactly. And this is where it gets really interesting. Like, imagine ChatGPT evolving to the point where it can not only schedule tasks, but also interact with its environment to complete them. Like, think about an AI that can not only remind you to book a flight, but actually goes ahead and books it for you based on, like, your preferences.
Wow, that's kind of mind-blowing. But also a little unsettling. Makes you wonder about the implications, especially when it comes to things like privacy and data security.
Yeah, that's a valid concern as AI becomes more deeply integrated into our lives. And it has access to more of our personal information. We need to be very mindful of how that data is used and protected.
For sure. So for people who do have access to this tasks feature, what's the user experience like?
From what we've seen so far, it seems pretty intuitive. You select 4.0 with scheduled tasks in the model picker, then just type out what you want done and when. You can manage your tasks directly within the chat or through a dedicated task section on the website. And you even get notifications on your web desktop and mobile when a task is completed.
Okay, so it's designed to be pretty user-friendly. But I'm curious about the motivation behind this move. Why is OpenAI adding these more agentic features to ChatGPT?
Well, there's definitely a strategic element here. Developing and maintaining AI infrastructure is incredibly expensive. These more advanced features are a way to monetize that investment and potentially create a more sustainable business model.
So it's a way to differentiate their paid subscriptions
Yeah.
and offer something unique that users might be willing to pay for. But the big question, of course, is reliability. Can we really trust AI to manage our tasks and keep track of important things?
That's the million-dollar question. We've seen in the past where AI agents haven't always lived up to expectations, sometimes producing inaccurate or unreliable results. OpenAI still seems to be working out some of the kinks. And there are limitations like only being able to have 10 active tasks running at a time.
Right, which suggests they're still being cautious and testing the waters with this feature.
Oh,
But even with those limitations, the possibilities are pretty exciting and maybe a little scary too. This is a big step toward AI becoming more integrated into our daily lives.
mhm.
And we need to be prepared for both the benefits and the challenges that come with it.
I agree. It's a fascinating time to be following the development of AI. We're witnessing a fundamental shift in how we interact with technology, and the implications are vast.
Yeah, it really is a pivotal moment. We're seeing these incredibly powerful tools becoming more accessible and integrated into our everyday lives.
And that brings up some interesting questions, like how this will affect us, both individually and as a society. Absolutely. For example, what happens to the concept of personal responsibility? When we have AI managing more and more of our tasks, do we become more or less accountable for our actions?
That's a great point. It's almost like we're outsourcing parts of our decision-making to algorithms.
Hmm.
And it makes you wonder if that could, in some ways, make us less engaged or less aware of the consequences of our choices.
It's definitely something to consider. On the one hand, having AI handle like mundane or repetitive tasks could free up our time and mental energy for more creative or meaningful pursuits.
I can see that. It's like having a super efficient assistant who takes care of all the details, allowing you to focus on the bigger picture.
Precisely. But the flip side is, we need to be careful not to become overly reliant on these systems, to the point where we lose essential skills, or the ability to think critically for ourselves.
So it's a delicate balance. We want to harness the power of AI to improve our lives,
Mm.
but we also need to be mindful of the potential downsides and make sure we're using it responsibly.
Exactly. It's not about rejecting technology, but about understanding its capabilities and limitations, and figuring out how to integrate it into our lives in a way that benefits us without diminishing our autonomy or our human capacity.
And I think that's where the conversation about the future of AI gets really interesting. It's not just about the technology itself, but about how we as humans adapt and evolve alongside it.
I completely agree. We're entering uncharted territory. And it's up to us to shape the course of this journey. It's a collective responsibility that requires thoughtful consideration, open dialogue, and a willingness to adapt to the changing landscape.
It's an exciting challenge,
Yeah.
but one that we need to approach with both enthusiasm and caution.
Well said. And speaking of challenges, one area that's particularly important to consider is the economic impact of this shift towards agentic AI.
Oh, right. We were talking earlier about how these advanced features are a way for companies like OpenAI to monetize their AI investments. But what about the broader economic implications for workers and industries?
That's a crucial question. As AI becomes more capable of handling tasks that were previously done by humans, we need to think about how that will affect the job market and the skills that will be in demand in the future.
So there's potential for both job displacement and job creation, right? Some roles might become automated, while others will emerge to support the development and maintenance of these AI systems.
Exactly. And it's not just about specific jobs, but about the skills and qualities that will be most valuable in an AI-driven economy. Things like creativity, critical thinking, problem solving, and emotional intelligence are likely to become even more important as AI takes on more routine tasks.
So it's not just about learning how to code or program AI, it's about developing the human skills that complement and enhance AI capabilities.
That's a great way to put it. It's about recognizing that the future of work isn't about humans versus machines, but about humans and machines working together in a synergistic way.
And that requires a shift in mindset, both for individuals and for organizations. We need to be adaptable, embrace lifelong learning, and be willing to redefine our roles and skill sets as the landscape evolves.
It's a call to action for all of us. We need to be proactive in shaping the future of work, ensuring that AI is used to augment human potential rather than displace it.
And I think that brings us to a really important question. How do we ensure that these powerful AI tools are used ethically and responsibly? We've already touched on some of the potential concerns around privacy and data security, but there's a whole range of ethical considerations that we need to address.
Absolutely. We need to be having conversations about things like bias in algorithms, accountability for AI decisions, and the potential for unintended consequences.
And it's not just about developers and policymakers, it's about all of us being aware of the issues and demanding that AI be developed and used in a way that aligns with our values.
I couldn't agree more. It's about ensuring that AI serves humanity rather than the other way around.
Yeah, it's a huge responsibility. And it feels like we're just scratching the surface of what's possible with AI. We've talked about like the practical applications, the economic impacts, and the ethical considerations.
Yeah.
But I think there's an even deeper question here, something that gets to the core of what it means to be human in an age of increasingly intelligent machines.
I think you're right. As AI systems become more sophisticated and capable of handling tasks that were once thought to be uniquely human, it forces us to confront our own sense of identity. Like, what sets us apart? What are the qualities that define our humanity?
It's almost an existential question, isn't it? If machines can do so much, what's left for us? What's our purpose?
Those are big questions, and I don't think there's a single easy answer. But I think part of it is about recognizing that our value as humans doesn't come solely from what we do or produce. It comes from our capacity for empathy, for creativity, for compassion, for connection.
I like that. It's
Yeah.
about those intangible qualities that make us human. Those things that machines, at least for now, can't replicate.
Exactly. And I think as AI continues to evolve, it's going to become even more important to cultivate those qualities in ourselves and in our society. We need to focus on developing our emotional intelligence, our ability to connect with others on a deeper level, and our capacity for critical thinking and ethical decision-making.
It's almost like AI is pushing us to evolve as a species,
Yeah.
or to become more fully human in a way, to embrace those qualities that distinguish us from machines, and to find new ways to express our unique potential.
I think you've hit on something really important there. It's not about fearing AI or trying to compete with it. It's about recognizing its potential to both challenge and inspire us, to push us to become the best versions of ourselves.
Well said. So as we wrap up this deep dive, I think it's safe to say that we're living in an incredibly exciting and transformative time. AI is changing the world around us at an unprecedented pace, and it's up to us to shape the future of this technology and to ensure that it's used for good,
I agree. And it's a conversation that we all need to be a part of. We need to stay informed, engage in thoughtful dialogue, and advocate for responsible development and use of AI.
Absolutely. We've covered a lot of ground today, from the specific features of ChatGPT's Tasks feature to the broader implications of agentic AI and the ethical considerations that come with it. But ultimately, it comes down to this. AI is a tool, and like any tool, it can be used for good or for ill. It's up to us to decide how we wield that power.
It's a powerful message to end on. We have a responsibility to ourselves, to future generations, and to humanity as a whole to ensure that AI is used to create a more just, equitable, and fulfilling world.
To our listeners, we encourage you to continue exploring these questions and to be active participants in shaping the future of AI. Let's use this technology to unlock our potential, to solve some of the world's most pressing problems, and to create a brighter future for all.
Thank you for joining us on this journey.
Until next time, keep diving deep.